of the Partnership for Global Security based in Washington, D.C. Kenneth Luongo, thanks for joining me here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's get right into our first question. Now, there have been many reports about the outcome of the Seoul Nuclear Security Summit and what's to be discussed here, but not so much on what would actually make a successful Seoul Nuclear Security Summit.
I think that the summit is already a success in the sense that you've got over 50 world leaders here to talk about a subject which is extremely important, which is preventing nuclear terrorism. It doesn't get a lot of attention. Other issues overshadow it. Or North Korea, for example, and Iran are both issues that tend to overshadow the nuclear terrorism issue. And the commitment of the North to this missile launch is raising even more concerns. But the South Korean government has made clear that they take this issue seriously, and I think that that commitment plus the results that individual countries will report will make this a very successful event.
Right, so from your point of view, what do you think should be discussed among the leaders and would be discussed actually tonight?
Yeah, there are several things that are going to be discussed. I mean, the prevention of nuclear terrorism using an improvised nuclear bomb. That's going to be the number one issue. Dealing with radiological materials that can be used in a dirty bomb. That's going to be another issue. And then what's called safety, security, nuclear safety security relationship, which is a result of Fukushima.
Right.
So we have three categories of problems. Bombs, radiological dirty bombs, and then nuclear reactors that can create radioactive dangers if something goes wrong. Mm-hmm. That's going to be the substance.
Right, so since the summit is about nuclear security, we cannot but talk about North Korea's nuclear program,
mm-hmm.
and its announcement of a planned launch of a rocket next month.
Yeah, well, it's a very bad decision. It comes at a very bad time, right after the U.S. and North Korea came to an agreement that may not be airtight, but an agreement nonetheless of ending certain activities in North Korea, and then the U.S. would provide some nutritional supplement. And I think the decision to launch this rocket is thrown that deal into question, and it's riled up the international community, and I think it's very unfortunate, and I think the North Koreans, frankly, are being very irresponsible.
All right, and going back to what you just mentioned about the relations between nuclear security and nuclear safety. Now, South Korea is a leading advocate of the goal of creating a world without nuclear weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the flip side of things, South Korea is one of the leaders in nuclear power plant development and nuclear power plant production. Now, what can we make out of this?
Yeah, there's a difference. There's a big difference between nuclear power, which is produced for electricity, and then the use of the infrastructure of nuclear power and the production of the materials for nuclear power and using those for weapons. So I don't see an inconsistency in the South Korean government position. Nuclear power is growing. And the population of the world is scheduled to go from 7 billion people up to 10 billion people by the middle of the century. So sustainable energy sources are required, and nuclear is one of them. So I think having a world free of nuclear weapons, as President Obama has suggested, is a very long-term goal, but having safe and secure nuclear power is something which we have to have right now. We can't wait.
Sure. All right. Kenneth Luongo, President of the Partnership for Global Security. Thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.